Hi, I'm Sean and I'm the face of Syman Woodcarving, and today we're going to be going over 5 basic things that you need to get started in woodcarving. Woodcarving is pretty simple compared to traditional woodworking. You don't need any big power tools or anything. In fact, you can get a lot done in a pretty small space. I have a pretty tiny apartment. So that was a grand tour. And the things that I managed to carve in this sort of space are things like... So jumping right into it. Number 1. The first thing you're going to need, and quite obviously, is wood. Most specifically, basswood is going to be your best beginner wood. Basswood is good because it's soft, light, and it has a nice tight grain. Basswood is a soft hardwood, which is a bit of an oxymoron. Basically what that means is it's easy to cut through, it has a nice tight grain that holds detail well, and it's really nice for carving. Now, basswood is pretty easy to find at local hardwood dealers or sawmills. You can also find it online like Amazon and eBay. Just do a quick Google around your local area. I always recommend actually going to a sawmill or especially hardwood dealer and picking out your wood yourself. Basswood is also called linden wood in European countries, so if you're there, look for linden wood. Other woods that I recommend for carving are butternut, maple, walnut, and cherry. A lot of these woods are a lot harder than basswood, but I find that harder woods, for me, tend to give a lot more detail, a lot better finish, and they often have a lot more appealing grains. So I tend to carve a lot more in harder woods, but that's just me personally. So once you've got your wood, the next thing you're going to need is number 2, something to cut your wood out with. Now I use Japanese pull saws. I like these because they leave a nice thin cut, they're really easy to control, and they don't make much mess. So I have 2 of these saws. I have this larger one, which I use more for roughing out, has one side which takes a coarser cut, which is used for rip cuts, and this other side which has more teeth, which is used for cross cuts. I also have the smaller one, which is a lot cheaper and has a tenon on the back, which I use for very small detail cuts. So you can find these online for quite cheap actually. They're really good. You can get replaceable blades for them as well if you ever break a blade. Other saws that you can use are a coping saw, very cheap and easy to find, a common tenon saw, a scroll saw, if you're living the dream, a bandsaw. You're definitely living my dream if you've got a bandsaw. If I could fit a bandsaw in this apartment, it's exactly what I'd be using, and often I'll go around to a mate's place and use a bandsaw to rough out my blanks. It makes the whole process a lot easier and more efficient. So now we're getting into the real meat and potatoes, and probably what you're here for. Number 3, knives. So the knife that I would recommend for beginners is actually this one from FlexCut. This is the FlexCut detail knife. It's got a 1.5 inch blade, and I recommend this one because it comes nice and sharp, it's very easy to control, and it's a good all-round knife. You can use it for roughing out, you can use it for detail work, and the tip is very easy to use. When I picked up one of these, my carving improved hugely, and that's when I first started making Pokemon carvings. But where I really started with carving knives, and if you're looking for a cheaper option or you just want to dip your toe in, I started with this, which is just any old scalpel blade. I actually carved the details on this ebony pendant with this scalpel blade. Now, as you're probably aware, ebony is a very hard wood, so you're going to be blunting a lot of scalpel blades. Another cheap option as well are these interchangeable blade handles. They come with a variety of different shaped blades, so you can start figuring out what sort of knife that you really like using. So moving on to the opposite end of the spectrum, this is what I use currently. This is an Orford big pick knife. It's got the same 1.5 inch blade that I really like, but it's got a slightly curved edge. But what I really like about this blade is the tip geometry, and it's slightly thicker than the other blade. The bonus of this blade is it's a lot better in hardwoods, and it holds its edge a lot better. The steel is just a lot better, but this is a lot more expensive blade. It's handmade. You're going to be paying a lot more money for one of these than you would, say, the FlexCut. So moving on to number 4, chisels. Now I love chisels. A lot of people don't use them when they're carving, but I find that chisels are really good for getting a nice clean face and using harder woods. I started out with just this one chisel, and it's still my go-to. I use it on every single project. It's for roughing out and getting my shapes. One of my other favourite chisels is this one, and you can see it still says $10 on it. I picked this one up at the second-hand market and sharpened it up. Your chisels don't need to be anything fancy. If you're looking for something that's a bit newer, you can pick up something like this file Swiss made, which is number 3 gouge. So the gouge has a bit of a curve along it, so it makes the cut a little bit easier, but it's still quite smooth. It'll allow you to get nice smooth surfaces with your cuts. So the reason I recommend a chisel is because it'll allow you to get nice smooth surfaces, get nice round forms a lot easier than you may get with a knife. And the action of cutting with a chisel is a lot different to a knife, and you can get into different areas. It'll make your life a lot easier on a lot of different carvings. When you're shopping for your chisel, I recommend looking for brands like Henry Taylor, Ashley Isles, Marples, Stubai, File Swiss made. So I recommend just one knife and just one chisel to start out with. And the reason I say that is it's good to learn how to use just these 2 tools and then learn when you need to use other tools. So a knife will get into places that a chisel won't, and a chisel will be able to take off material that a knife won't. You'll be able to learn the limitations of these 2 tools and then learn when you need to use other tools, and you won't be buying a lot of stuff that you don't need. And the other thing that you'll learn is what is for you and what isn't. You might find that you like carving a lot of basswood with your knife, but you might find that you really like working with walnut with your chisel. Give it a go, find out what's for you. Moving on to number 5.
But Sean, I'm afraid of cutting my fingers.
Oh, disembodied voice, don't be afraid. We're gonna get some finger protection, which is my 5th thing that I recommend. Now, my favorite form of finger protection, which I still use today, is this friction guard tape. There's other forms of finger protection that you can use, such as a full hand glove, and these little finger sock things, which I don't really like. I don't really like using a glove because it reduces my dexterity and doesn't allow me to do the carving that I want to do. So what I use is this friction guard tape. The only thing difficult about using friction guard tape is finding the end of the roll. So I like to put the friction guard tape on my 2 forefingers and my thumb, because those are the only fingers that I'm ever likely to cut, and I can still hold a piece, and I'm still keeping those fingers behind the blade. But if I ever slip, that's going to stop the initial impact, and then I'll replace the tape after that. You should use whatever makes you confident in carving. If you want to use a full fingered glove, use a full fingered glove. If you want to use anything else, use that. If you don't want to use anything at all, that's fine, as long as you are confident in your carving. So now for the bonus round. A pencil and a ruler. These are often my most important tools. I draw on the carving all the time, and symmetry is super important to me, so I'm always measuring points off on my carving. So another handy measuring tool that I use are my digital calipers. These are really cheap ones. They don't need to be super accurate. Nothing needs to be accurate. It's all based on your eye, but these can be helpful aids. Nothing needs to be super square or precise or anything in carving. It's more an art form than fine woodworking. So, to summarize, the 5 basic things that you need to get started in wood carving: some wood, something to cut that wood out with, a knife, a chisel, some finger protection, and a pencil and a ruler. So I'm going to be putting links to all these products that I'm recommending down in the description. Ask any questions down in the comments, chuck this video a like, and then subscribe for more content. And thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.